Okay, this video is to go over complementary and supplementary angles. So we first showed them all these pictures and asked what they noticed. Most of them were able to recognize that they all formed a right angle. So angles ABC, EFG, and JKL are made up of two non-overlapping adjacent angles. Angles ABC, EFG, and JKL all have the same measure, which is 90 degrees. And in class, I took the time to add each one of those. I'm not going to do that with y'all. Two adjacent non-overlapping angles that equal 90 degrees are known as complementary, and this is where we introduce the vocabulary word of complementary. Okay, so complementary angles are two angles with a combined measure of 90 degrees. So we matched each angle with its complement. So I asked them, if we know that this first one is 55, how could we find its complement? Most of them were able to deduce that you would subtract 55 from 90. Which should give you 35. So this one should match. Takes a little twisting to make it match up, but that equals 90 degrees. And they can see that the square corner is intact. I didn't draw a very good square, so you could. So then we did that for each of the other ones to find that 73 matches with 17 and 36 matches with 54. Then we moved on. What did you notice about all the measures of the angles below? With the class, I added each one so that I found that it equals 180 degrees, which is a straight angle. So we introduced that two non-overlapping adjacent angles that have a combined measure of 180 degrees are known as, of course now it's not going to show, no, supplementary angles. I'm not sure why it's not showing. But you get the point. Supplementary angles. So two angles with a combined measure of 180 degrees are known as supplementary angles. So match each angle with its supplement. Again, I asked them, if we know that this angle is 105, how could we find its supplement? And they were able to tell me 180 minus 105 is 75 degrees. So if I moved the one that says 75 over and put them next to each other, they would make a straight line. And we did that with the other ones to match them up, subtracting to find which ones matched. We went through what we know about complementary and supplementary angles. We took some notes in our journal to help us remember. I'm looking through my journal to be okay. So we said that complementary were two non-overlapping adjacent angles that equals 90 degrees. We took that C from corner and spelled the word, or C from complementary, sorry, and spelled the word corner. And we also took the C to make it into a 90, just a different color, 90 degrees, just to kind of give them little clues to help them remember. We also gave them the helpful hint, it is always right to give a complement, because right angles are 90 degrees, and that's complementary. For supplementary, we talked about how they were non-overlapping adjacent angles that equals 180 degrees. So we took the S and wrote the word straight, because they make a straight angle. We also took the S, and it's not cloned again, so I'll just have to draw a blue S, and turned it into an 8 and wrote a 1 and a 0 around it to equal 180 degrees. Those are just little hints to help them remember what the difference is between complementary and supplementary. Alright, then this is a guided practice that we did. Name two adjacent angles that are complementary. So I would always have them circle the vocabulary word and write that that equals 90 degrees. So adjacent means they have to be touching. So, because a lot of them would look at this and say 60 and 30 is 90, which is true. That does equal 90 degrees, but the word adjacent tells me that they have to be touching. So 60 and 30 would not work. Just erase one slide, please. Okay. So I told them, well, let's try 60 and 48, and we tried each one until we found that 48 and 42 added together equals 90. So our answer would have been angle GKH and angle HKI. Right. Which of the following angles are supplementary? So here I had them cross off and plug in. So angle FKH, which is 60 and 48, and so we're adding angle GKJ. GKJ would be 48 plus 42 plus 30. So they would add all those together. Which gets 228 degrees. So they, oh, I completely forgot. Circle some supplementary and write 180. Sorry, guys. So 228 is more than 180, so that couldn't be my answer choice. We would go through each answer choice until we found which one was equal to 180. So if angle A and angle B are complementary angles and angle A is 38 degrees, what is the measure of angle B? Again, we circle complementary and write 90 degrees. So that tells me angle A plus angle B equals 90 degrees because they are complementary. Well, they told me I can plug in that angle A is 38 degrees, and I'm looking for angle B, so that would be my x. That equals 90, so they can tell that they have to subtract 90 minus 38. Which is 52 degrees. We had those covered so that they would be able to answer the question before they looked at the answer choices. Now you'll notice that 2 answer choices say 52 degrees. So I tell them, when that's true, you have to go to the because. In A, it says because the sum of the measures of complementary angles is 180. Well, we know it's not 180, it's 90. So that eliminates that answer choice. I can eliminate B and C because it's 142 degrees. So D says 152 because the sum of the measures is 90 degrees, which is correct. So our answer here would be D. And that is complementary and supplementary angles. And that concludes my lessons on angles.